Hey everybody, so it is your girl and your sister girl in the law, attorney Nicole Compton, and I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I am doing a series of interviews with just some totally awesome, amazing black women that I feel like you need to know. And today is no different. We are having a virtual summit at the end of March called 21 Queens Virtual Summit, and the tagline is Trading Capes for Crowns. We'll get on what all that is about later, but make sure that you stay tuned or go to 21 Queens, 21queens.com for more info and to sign up. Again, it's at the end of March. And I wanted to give you all a chance to see just how wonderful all of the women that I handpicked for this event are and why I love them so much. And I know that you all will, because you know I'm not going to bring you anything but the best of the best. And so these interviews are a chance for you to get to know like the real person behind all of the glitz and glam and the long resumes. And so today I introduce to you and I bring to you Devon Chestnut. And so Devon and I kind of go way back. She grew up being really good friends with my sisters, but we've crossed paths professionally over and over and over. And so there's a few people that I always pray for, even though they don't know it. I always follow them just to check in and make sure that they're doing well and see how it is that I can help them because I believe in everything they do. Her spirit is one of a giver, one of a carer, and she always, every time I've seen her, she just carries herself so classy, like classy lady, like the poem Phenomenal Woman. When I think of that, I think of her. And so I wanted her on the panel because not only is she just an awesome person as far as being a giver and being a nurturer and being out doing things in the community, but she's also got some projects that I've been kind of watching her with, and I'm impressed. And she's, I mean, sister is a hard worker, and from what I can tell, a true researcher. Like she's gonna make sure that she knows how to do something and how to do it right, and not just piecemeal and fake it till you make it, but really put her all into everything that she does. So I want you all to give it up for Miss Devon. And hi, how are you today?
Thank you. I am fabulous. How are you? And thank you for inviting me. It's an honor and a privilege. I really, truly appreciate it.
Oh, it's our honor. And I, like I said, I mean it. Y'all know me, I'm a straight shooter. So if I say it, I mean it. And I'm not bringing y'all just anybody. This is somebody that, is you're awesome. You're amazing in your own right. So I want you to tell us kind of give us a quick background because they've already got your bio. What are like a couple of facts that people wouldn't know about you?
Oh, that's a good question. A couple of facts that people Oh
So what are
no.
some
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You see
So
me?
what is the okay?
Oh,
So
okay.
I think that the computer, the universe is trying to give you a few minutes to like think about it because it froze for a second. Like wait for it. Here you go. So give me one thing. Like what is the I
Okay.
got one.
Bam.
What is the scariest or most exciting thing that you've ever done in your life?
The most exciting slash different was going horseback riding.
I love it. I love it. How long ago was that?
That was, I want to say like 2 years ago.
Ah, I rode a horse on the beach of Accra in Ghana, West Africa, right before I turned 21.
Wow, that's
That was an
awesome.
experience to ride it on the beach. I was like, this is kind of like, you got to be that extra.
I love it.
What is the one thing that you would want to do before you died? Like, what's the one bucket list thing that you have?
I would have to say I would want to go skydiving.
Me too. I wanted to go. I wanted to go for my 30th birthday. I did everything but. And so now at 41, I still have not went. So
Yep.
I
So
maybe we'll have to go together. So
I'm with it. Yes.
birthday's in June. I'll be calling you like, hey, let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. So what do you this is probably another doozy, so I'm just gonna warn you.
Okay.
What do you consider success for your life?
Success for my life is basically carrying out my purpose, making progress, reaching my goals, whatever those goals are, and just hitting it, knocking it off, and not only stopping there, but once you hit that level, okay, don't stop there. Just go to the next
To the
level. What
next.
is it?
Okay. And what would you what does tell us what projects you have going on right now, like what gets you excited, what is that step, because we know you're going to go further, but what is
Right.
that step or that big project that you have right now?
Well, right now, I know last year, I had a play. It was going to be, it was going to debut
I
on.
didn't know that. I learned something new every interview. Okay, go ahead.
So it was going to debut on March the 15th, but March the 14th at practice, my heart, it was just like, oh, well, we have to shut everything down due to COVID. And I was like, no play. So I'm thinking of creative ways. Like, do I want to do, I know I'm definitely going to do it. I have everything in place. It's just virtually, or like, do I want to have it as at a physical location? Because everybody's health, I'm more concerned about that first. That's priority.
Why
So
don't you just turn it into a TV show? I'm actually being serious, and we'll talk about that. But there are places around town where you can actually rent out and do it either live or have it recorded. And so, and everybody, that's what we. I know they're trying to open the schools back, but
right.
I'm not trying to do all of that. But I will watch it on TV, and I can help you with that.
Thank you, because I was thinking about turning it into a soap opera.
Ooh, ooh. Okay, don't tell us too much, but what's it about?
So basically, it's called Alive in a Dead Relationship, and it's basically letting people know, look, okay, you see all these people on social media, they look happy, they're going places, but it's just like makeup. Okay, you put on your lipstick, you beat your face while you're outside. When you come off, you have to be vulnerable and take it all off, and you're not, I'm not saying people are not happy without makeup, but with these relationships, and you should not have to settle if it's a relationship. Okay, like with me, I was previously engaged. I wasn't afraid to cut it off to save myself the embarrassment right then and there versus continuing knowing later on down the line I'm not
It
going to
wasn't
be happy.
gonna work. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So that's gonna be a good one. Y'all gonna have to stay tuned for that. We're gonna make sure that y'all get the info on that one. Because you're right. There are a lot of people who, especially nowadays with social media, we don't get to be real. Everything has to look perfect, and while you're looking like you're perfect and life is so good, your stuff could really be falling apart behind the scenes. And honestly, there's some people who need to see that it's actually ugly behind the scenes. I was telling one of my mentees yesterday that, actually today too,
Uh-huh.
everything that happened to me that was negative, I ended up realizing it was for God's glory. It was for me to learn from,
Hmm.
but it benefited everybody around me because I've always been transparent, and I'm just going to tell it like it is. So when I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. When, bad stuff happens, I call it out. I don't stay the victim. I try to move on, but I try to help other people do the same from the lessons I've learned. So it sounds like that's kind of what you'll be doing with this play, and what better way to do it than to entertain as you educate.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Mm.
that's what I love. Like when it comes to my writing style, it's gonna be funny, it's gonna make you mad, it's gonna be make you angry, but it's going to be relatable. And not only is it going to be entertainment, but at the end, okay, well, what did you learn from this? Here's some nuggets how you can move forward. So
Right.
mhm.
Ah. So education and encouraging. Okay, so I know that you're a writer, and I know that you've done a book. What about your book, and And did you always, were you like that little girl with the notepad and the diary, always writing, or did that come about later in life?
No, I actually started at 9 years old. I used to write poems and short stories. And it's so funny because I do act as well. So my sister and I, whenever we were younger and went to a restaurant with our parents, and if we heard like a different accent, we would see like if we can mimic it. And we used to always get in trouble. We used to be like, we got sure. My mom, they right over there. We'd be like, yes, we get it.
That's funny. That is funny. I can see him pinching you under the table, like, stop that. Okay. And so what so far, do you still write short stories and poems? Or
I
have you
do.
moved on to other genres?
Well, yeah, I still write short stories and poems. And actually, with the ministry I'm involved in, skits for that. Like we're working on a skit for just different events to draw people in, and people that love the arts. So yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the ministry.
Okay, so the ministry that I'm involved in, I love, love, love it. Been there since 2007. Yep, 2007.
Ooh,
So
14 years.
14 years, and I absolutely love it. And it was just like ultimately what I needed. There's a story behind that as well, from the time when I was seeking the ministry to how it happened. I met
Well,
somebody and like,
ain't got nothing but time. Come on, bring it, bring it.
but
Somebody
just
might somebody might need to hear it. And I always get excited at how things come together. So I know
right,
not everybody believes in God,
right.
but just I'm always amazed at how you look back and you're like, wow, I couldn't have made this up. I mean, it couldn't have been any better. And I saw how you glowed when you started talking about it. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna poke it. Go ahead and tell us.
Okay, so it was during the time, and like I said, I'm not knocking anybody that is currently going through this, because I've been there, done that. I've been there with the club, and I've been there with the drinking. I've been there, and I remember it was my very last time that I was out, and you know how in the movies, like everybody else is dancing, the DJ's playing the music, and like it's like a slow turn, everything is slow motion. And it was just like, Devin, why are you still here? And then I had to think, I was like, why am I still here? So I took a shot or whatever, and then it was like, Devin, why did you just drink that? Because it didn't even taste the same, and that used to be my
Wow.
favorite drink. And I was like, why did I just do that? So I told my friends back then, I was like, hey, y'all have fun. I know we all came in separate cars. I'm gonna leave. They was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. Now this next part, I really haven't told a lot of people, but I'm just gonna be like open and vulnerable about it.
Okay,
So
everybody, this
my
is a treat. So we're gonna have to value and respect what we're getting. So go ahead.
So prior to that, my granny, she gave me like a Bible, my grandfather's old Bible, because he had passed on like years before. So I know that I was missing something. It was like a void in me, because like I stopped going to church. I really didn't read. I really didn't pray. And it was just like a emptiness on the inside of me. So one night when I actually went to sleep, and I was laying on my stomach, and I went to sleep, but it was like a movie theater playing in my head, right? I was the only person in the movie theater. It was black, all black, the white screen. And it was like, the voice of God was like, focus on me, focus on me. But then you hear the enemy was like, raw, raw, trying to raw, raw. Well, if you do this, this ain't gonna work, blah, blah, blah. And Nicole, I kid you not, I was asleep, laying on my stomach. I felt something just like go across my back. And I was like, and I woke up, I was just like, Jesus. So I picked up the Bible that my granny gave to me. And like I said, I haven't picked up the Bible in years, landed on that exact verse that I needed. I was like, come on, God. And that night in like months was the first night that I was able to sleep peacefully.
Oh
Sleep
wow. Oh, I need to know what the scripture was.
Right. It was in Psalms. I know it was in Psalms, but I had to find the scripture though. And
Okay.
it was like, when I tell you perfect peace, perfect peace. So
Wow.
I was just like, God, I need to go to church, direct my path. I don't know how. I didn't even know about which church to visit because I visited several, but I was just like, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. So I worked with a temp service, and I became friends with a young lady there. We were on two separate teams. Like we'll cross each other. Hi, oh, hi, okay, in the break room. Hi. Didn't know her name. Didn't know anything about her. So all of a sudden, like the temps agency, they was like, we don't know why, but we're going to merge. They decided to merge, and normally they don't do this way. So she ended up sitting right next to me.
Oh,
Became
wow.
close friends. She invited me to the ministry, and I was sold ever since.
That
And
was a
oh, let me
blessing.
tell you, so what I was missing, like it was the Holy Ghost, because once I got filled with the Holy Ghost, I'm telling you, it was just so like I was like, that was the boy, that was what I
And
needed, and
that's
I
the
didn't know
thing. And
it.
then you can't go back. And you
Yes.
can't, it's not the same. And so I talk about, I grew up in a holiness church. I did my own thing. And then when I came back, I was like, I don't want to play games. Like it's either
Right.
it is or it's not. I don't, and I'm not looking for a church. I'm looking for you. Like I need the relationship, Lord. And so the same things just don't do it anymore. It's like, nah. But even still, even in the natural life, not the even the spiritual, even now I seek things that are going to elevate me, things that, like, they say when you're a child you do childish things, but when you're a man or you're an adult you put away those things and you want more. And so that's I have a platform that is about to start, and it's Sister C Suite. I don't want I don't have a problem with everybody else, and it's not even a Christian like platform. I don't have
Uh-huh.
a problem with everybody else, but I want those women that are elevated thinkers, that are look that it just the I don't want to do the same old Instagram. I don't want to be on Clubhouse talking about, stuff that's not productive, that's not
Mhm.
uplifting, that's not helpful. I don't want to waste my time because I know that that's something I'll never get back. I want to be able to help build others, to motivate others, to do something positive, and I want to
Yeah.
be around like-minded sisters who are trying to do the same thing. That I know that they have integrity, that they're genuine, and that they're looking to do amazing things in their own sector and with the gifts that they have.
Mhm.
So, yep, I picked the right one. I picked. Every interview I do, I learn more. Because I know you guys, but you can only know so much. But when these
Right, right.
interviews are really to help get to know and to show other people. But every time I end up uplifted just hearing things about you guys. So thank you for
Right.
sharing. I know I poked you
No,
like I
that's
just shared this with,
okay. That's okay.
but thank you. So what do you tell a woman who is at that crossroad? Like the one who's like, you're sitting with your friends and it just isn't the same. Or, you've gotten to a point and you're just kind of like, I'm not really sure what next or what level to do or which way to take it. And that was also one of the reasons I asked about success. Like how do you define what your success is? And then how do you help other people find when they're at that crossroad, how to choose the right road so that they get there?
Right. And let me tell you, because there's going to come a point in time where we all are going to outgrow familiar territory, familiar friends. It's just a process, it's part of life. I want to let
And if
those
you
ladies
don't get
know.
uncomfortable, that's a problem.
E- Exactly, exactly. Because familiarity brings famine. Yes, in all areas of your life. So it's not a bad thing because I've been there. I've done that. People try to make me feel bad. People try, oh, you think you too good.
You're
No,
better
it's
than us,
nothing like
them.
that. It's just like I know where I need to go, and being stagnant and complacent and doing the same old things is not going to
Not
get me
gonna
there.
get
I
you
have
there.
to renew my mind. I have to change my mindset. I have to get these goals, and I don't even have kids yet, but I do desire kids in the future. And it's just like, okay, I'm thinking now, how can I leave a legacy when they are born? Like, I don't want them to go through a 9 to 5. I want them to have their own, whatever if they want to go to college. Okay, cool, it's paid for. If they want to get a certification to brand them and help them out, okay, let's get this business started. Let's make this money, but
Yep.
you're not going to remain the same.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
always pushing and making it and giving them that expectation. My parents never told us that we couldn't do, and if we heard that we couldn't do, it was from somebody on the outside. And so we thought, hey, we want to be an astronaut, we could be an astronaut. If we wanted to
Mm-hmm.
run the city, we can run the city. And so they always gave us like, here, we may not have the money part, but we could figure it out, and
Right.
but do everything under excellence, like, and you'll get there. So that's
Mm-hmm.
good. Is there any special thing that you do in your routine um that you feel like it is very significant in that, in getting you there and getting you to the dreams of having your kids and being able to take care of them and continuing your success?
Yes, definitely daily. Something that I do daily, positive affirmations is so important to me. So important to me. And I have like a dream board and a vision board. Like there's something always in my face reminding me of this is where you're gonna get there. This is where
Do
you're gonna
you
get to.
put
You
dates
might
on
not
them?
be there now, but this is where you're gonna be.
Right. Do you put dates on them?
I have to. I have to. Yes, I always put dates. So what I do is like, say for example, this is 2021. So pretty soon I'm going to make out my goal for 2022. Okay, I should be here at December 31st, 2021. And then I work my way back to like, okay, here's what I need to do monthly. Here's what I
Right.
need to do quarterly, weekly, and here's what I need to do daily. And I have like two calendars, one physical, one in my phone, alerts, alarms, because I have to stay on
Do
top.
you do your affirmations on alarms?
No, I just get up and just start saying it. Like whatever it is that I desire, like, and I'm a firm believer you create your world with your words. So
No,
whatever
you.
it is that I desire, I don't
That's
speak
not even
what
just
I'm
a
going to be. I
Christian
speak it
thing.
like now. I'm a
Yeah.
millionaire now.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh yeah.
wealthy now. I have divine connections now. My husband is here now.
Yep. Yep. And so it should be that I was, whenever I speak on words, is if I speak to Christian groups, I let them know that, God, it said, the Bible talks about, in the beginning, he said, like, he used his words. And if we're created in his image, then when we speak, we create. So you
Hmm.
can either create positive or you can create negative. You can give life or you can kill. But scientifically, because I was pre-med neuroscience until my senior year in undergrad, and so I'm still a researcher and a
Right,
scientist and a nerd at heart. And
right.
so there are studies that show your body, your physical cells, they react to your voice. And from a spiritual standpoint, the strongest words that you can use are his words out of your mouth, basically affirming all the positive that he says about you. And your body, believe it or not, your cells start listening and moving. So and there's studies that have shown that people's bodies or tissues heal quicker, and they're healthier when they speak to and command and tell their body, okay, we're not staying sick, cancer, you
Hmm.
can't stay, you don't belong. And it sounds like woo woo, but it really is, it really is truthful. One of the things that I used to do is I would take my affirmations and I spoke them into my phone. So instead of an alarm, it let's say 12:05 every day, it would say, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I am this, I am that, I am this, I do this, this is waiting for me. And so even when I didn't feel like saying it, I had no choice. That's what I'm waking up to. That's what comes on before lunch break. That's what I mean, and that's how I did it.
Brilliant.
I said it periodically, randomly throughout the day and the week. So I didn't even have to think about it. And it got to the point, after you hear a song so long, the song's in your head and you can't get it out. And then when your song come on, you got the words,
Hmm.
and there they were. So
Yes.
that's a good.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
have to
good.
borrow that. I love it because no, that's so true. Because look, faith comes by hearing over and
Over
over.
and over and over. Yep.
Yes, yes. I
And
love that.
I being a motivational speaker, like I know you are, a lot of motivational speakers, whether they're secular or faith based,
Mm.
much of what they say you can tie back and find that there's biblical reference to, or that that the same is in the Bible, even if it's just a little. And even in other religions, I see I try to cross reference. And so there's some things that cross over, and usually affirmations is in there, being able to see and say and create with your words, and putting your visions down. But you got to have the dates. It can't be a wish and a hope. You got to I love that you put the plan that goes with it. Our VIP session
work. You have to put some work behind it.
Oh yeah. Well, and then not only that, if you break it down to those little nuggets, like you were talking about, I'm going to make this accomplishment, but I'm not going to stay there, and I'm going to look for the next highest thing. When you do that, when you're building up like that, it's easier to chunk it. If you just take a step every day, you just do one thing towards that goal every day, even on the days you don't feel like it. If it's something as simple as making a phone call or looking up something or reading a article on where you're trying to get to, you'll look back and realize, wait a minute, I'm miles from where I started. And I started with, every journey starts with a step. Just start, just go.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's so true. That is so true.
What other big projects do you have coming up?
Let's see. So the play, I will have some sessions starting up again for like the women and the young ladies, just to pull them, push them into their purpose, pull out their potential. Because don't get me wrong, I work with like any woman or young lady, but I really love working with those that people have discounted.
Hold on, is this with the ministry? Because you never said what it was. I think we got off. So what is
okay.
Is it working with young girls and women? And what do you do?
Okay, so I have a business, an organization called Russell Women and Youth Development Services, and my goal is to, well, pre-COVID, we were doing a little bit of everything. We were doing like the mental, the finance, and these are people that don't know the word. We don't like, keep hitting them with the word or anything, but we're throwing nuggets out without them knowing that it's the word. So they're like, oh, that's good. We're like, yeah, we know that's good because
it is.
But they didn't know that. But it's just being like, really, like I said, relatable to them, really like pushing them. And because a lot with these young girls, especially like people that discount it. Well, let me tell you how I even got started with working with young girls. I had a friend, like my very first job was working with the youth at a camp. And I was just like, oh, I'm never working with kids again, blah, 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 blah. I was 15. I was like, oh, these little kids, no. But then it came right back around like years later. My friend, he was a security officer down south. And he was like, you know what this mother just told her young daughter? And I was like, okay, wait, it couldn't be that, Okay, what is it? He was like, the mother told her young 15-year-old daughter, as long as you have that between your legs, you should never be broke. My heart melts. I said, okay. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do.
How about between your ears? Like
that hurts so bad. So it's probably something that was told to even her mother as well. And I'm just like, I wish I was there, because with a lot of young girls and people that talk to them, it's just like, okay, a 1 or 2 time thing and that's it. But it's just like, when you come into their life, you have to earn their trust. It's just like, okay, are you gonna leave me like the next person did, because they didn't stay and so-and-so didn't stay and so on? No, we're here for the long haul. What you need? Right. What you want? Don't say you don't know. We're gonna figure it out together, since you don't know.
Yep. You can stand on, like the women behind me, stand on all the shoulders of greatness in the meantime. Learn from, but you need that one or two that is your person. And it may not always be your mama, it might not be your auntie or your sisters. But that one, and that's like, really, that is true legacy, because you're helping to shape the future. Because if you get them straight, then the next generation that comes after, yeah, I like that. Okay, so with that group, with your ministry, what you said that COVID has kind of thrown things off. What do you have coming up?
So I'm planning with the work some. I have some team members on board. Thank goodness for them. Just like different virtual sessions, like I said, for women, for the young ladies. Still working on that, because I do have a lesson plan, but I'm just like, I don't want to dive into that, like, because that's like kind of huge.
Right.
I just want to like kind of backtrack. Okay, let's take baby steps to get there, and then boom, we can have this
Right.
course, our curriculum. So
Okay. A little bit at a time. I mean, like
yeah.
it's still that step by step by step. Um, I'm trying to think what else. There was something else I was going to ask you. So you're going to be speaking on our panel that deals with finances.
Right.
And so um, tell me some of what you don't give me everything, but if you were going to give a financial tip to and our audience will be young and older or seasoned black women, what would be some of the tips or one tip at least regarding finances and financial well-being?
Let's see. I have like a lot of things floating in my head, but I would have to say have more than one stream of income.
Gotcha. Okay, so how do you suggest that they do that? Like 9 to 5. If somebody has, I hear people be like, I want 7 streams of income. How does that? Do you do them all at once? How do they get to that and know what those streams will be?
I would say don't try to tackle them all at once. You can master all of them eventually, but just take that very first one that you see yourself, because like a lot, okay, that's saying too much, but
It's not. Go
I'm
ahead, say
still
what
doing
it
this.
was.
Okay. But whatever it is, that one that you figure out that you want to do first, master that to a level where you're like, hey, you have your people in place, whatever it is, your employees, your volunteers, master that until you get to the level where you want to be. Then you can focus on the next one. And then once you do that, do the same thing, but get a different target group that are passionate about that. Then you go to the next one. So
Right. Okay. And that's what I would that's great advice because that's usually what I tell people with businesses and trying to start projects. I have the whole ADHD thing. Like my mind just pew 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 pew. And if you could see what was going on up here, you'd be like, okay, lady, because it is a lot. I mean, I'm over here taxes and PPP and starting this business and getting this person out of jail and that traffic. I mean, like my mind is a million things at once. But I had a
uh-huh.
mentor of mine tell me that starting a business is like having a baby. And so you can't have a baby and the next week pop out another one. Like you get that one up, out and up and running and or at least walking before you decide, hey, let's do it again. No, because that you if you start popping out another one or trying to make another one, this one's walking into the street and getting smashed, or they're over here, you didn't feed it and it's starved. You gotta
Right, right.
one at a time, not 10 at a time. So all right.
You're right.
So I am gonna make sure that you all have ways to see the different things that Devon has in her ministry, as well as her courses and books and things like that. If they wanted to buy your book, tell us a little bit about your book and how they can get it.
Okay, so the first book is called Ladies Set Apart for a Purpose, and that's on Amazon. The second one is called Alive in a Dead Relationship. That's on Amazon as well. Or you can reach out to me. Should I give them my email address or telephone number?
Well, you can, because I'm gonna
Okay,
put it. I'll put it at the end of the video as well, and I'll put it
okay,
in all of the material. But go ahead. I mean, you can
okay,
if you.
okay. So you can email me at Dev, it's the first three letters of my first name, chestnut at gmail.com. Or you can reach out to me via telephone. My business number is 786-507-8204. Or you can find me on social media on Facebook, Devon Chestnut, LinkedIn, Devon Chestnut, Instagram, Devon underscore underscore. So it's two underscores, Chestnut.
Okay. Yay. So y'all got it. Is there anything else that you want to share? Because I appreciate your time. I'm trying, I don't want to capitalize on your night because I talk forever and I have a whole bunch of questions. That's what attorneys do, right? The evangelist and prophetess in me wants to talk and preach, and then the attorney part of me wants to ask a bunch of questions. The tired queen who's worked all day part of me is like, you got some chicken to eat in the other room. So I'll go with that one and we won't monopolize all your time. But is there anything else that you want to say to the ladies, or anything else that you want to address before we go?
No, the only thing I would just like to tell the ladies is take the limits off of yourself. Like, don't ever limit yourself. And whatever you're working on, because I love a good challenge and I love when people tell me no. Don't let that discourage you, because to me, no means next opportunity. There's always going to be that yes. And like when you get that one yes, you're going to look back behind you and saying, why was I even concerned about those other no's? Because that yes is going to be bigger and more like extravagant that you have ever dreamed or imagined or thought of. So that's
Yep.
all.
And you'll be thankful for those no's. Like, whoa, man, I'm
Yes,
so glad I got that
yes.
no.
Oh my gosh, a blessing
Glad
in
I dodged
disguise.
that
You don't
one.
know.
Yes. All right. So I want to thank you once again. Thank you, thank you, thank you for
No, thank
taking your time,
you.
and even more for agreeing to be on to be a panelist in the summit. So if you all are as impressed as I am, you can go to 21queens.com, and it is name your price, because we don't want you to say, well, that conference cost so much I couldn't go. No, this is an act of love on the ladies that are involved, and we have some real treats for you. And if you want to be VIP and upgrade and all of that, you can. Or if you want to be a vendor, you can, because we have the virtual vendors alley and all of that. But don't let money be a reason you didn't come out and that you didn't get blessed and learn from the queens that I handpicked for this panel. And so thank you, Miss Chestnut, and
Thank
thank you
you.
everybody for giving me your ear for this time. And I can't wait. I'm excited. A couple of more weeks and woohoo! We're gonna have it, and hopefully you all will be there with us. Thank you.
Thank you.